Okay, guys, and good morning, everyone. In this video, and today we're going to discuss about our article. And before we started to introduce ourselves, let me introduce myself. My name is Muhammad Rafli Ardiansyah. I'm from SMK Negeri 1 Surabaya. Next.
Okay, my name is Muhammad Abdul Rashid from SMK 1 Surabaya, majoring in multimedia. Next,
Nefis Arya Dwi Trisha Putra. I'm from school SMA Sanden.
Halo,
Okay, I want to tell about my newspaper. Titled Iraq Honey Production at the Mercy of Heat and Drought. And the article written by Tony Gamal Gabriel, Agent France Press, or Al Regila, Iraq. An oppressive had beats down on the central Iraqi province of Babylon, where drought and rising temperatures are hitting this and honey production hard. Beekeepers Muhammad Aliawi knows it all too well as he checks on dozens of hive boxes replaced at the feet of tall palm trees in the fields of Al Regila village. There is no water and therefore no flowering plants to keep the bees satisfied. Aliawi, the deputy director of a local apiaries association, told AFP, the earth is cracked and growing melons and watermelons prove difficult to lingering drought and intense chilly temperatures often rising around 50 degrees Celsius, which take their toll on bees too. A bee needs of constantly forage for the pollen and nectar necessary for honey production. It is in constant movement, usually traveling hundreds of meters to find its bounties with Aliawi. But the drought is forcing bees to travel longer, up to 5 kilometers to pollinate. This impacts the lifespan of the worker bee, the female bee that gathers pollen and nectar. Alia we explained under optimal circumstance, the worker bee can live up to 60 days, but in this current situation, it only lives 20 days. In addition, bee thrives in temperature of around 30 since 35 degrees. Not in sharing head when the thermometer climbs to 50, said Aliawi, the manager of a private honey producer. He has moved dozens of beehive boxes from central Iraq to 7 sites scattered across the mountain of the northern autonomous Kurdistan region, where their air is colored and the light cleaner. If we don't move, the bees stay suffer, he said, relocating hives. On a hot July day, Aliawi and his team more protective headgear before insecting the beehive box and the honeycombs inside. The wafted smoke over the hives with a bee smoker, a procedure known to calm the insects. In the early 2000s, each beehive yielded about 20 to 25 kilograms of honey per year, whereas now the quantity has plunged to merely 5 kilograms, Aliawi said. According to the United Nations, Iraq is one of the 5 countries in the world most impacted by some effects of climate change. Authority says Iraq is going through its fourth straight years of drought. The country has been plagued by scorching summer, sizzling rainfall, and frequent sandstorms, while upstream dams have reduced the flow out of the Tigris and EU Kurdish rifles had run across Iraq. Despite this was the head of the Apiaries department at the Agriculture Ministry, Hashim Al-Zahiri, remains optimistic. Honey production is increasing year on year, he said. In 2022, honey production in parts of Iraq controlled by the Baghdad Federal authorities reached 870 tons, while in Kurdistan, 150 tons were production, up from about 700 tons in each territory the previous year. Zahiri said he has prepared a study on the benefits of moving beehives from southern and central Iraq to Kurdistan and vice versa, according to needs, in order to improve yields. Sandstorm, the UN development program, said in a 2020 report that beekeeper has existed in Iraq for an estimate 80 years, which recipes that as honey for medicinal purpose inscribed on ancient Sumerian tablets. In modern times, beekeeping in Iraq is dominated by men, but that has not stopped Zainab al-Ambari. She developed patience. Uh, she developed a passion for discovering beekeeping through her late husband, who had taken it up as a hobby. Their decades on and now in early 50s, January has 250 beehives in the province of Babylon, dozen of which she keeps in the courtyard of the family house. She limited the effects of a warming planet on her bees. The rise in temperatures affects bees. The queen stop laying eggs when it is so hot, Mamuri said. And during the frequent sandstorm above the country, if the bees are out, how will not return. Okay, thank you. It's for me and next from Captain Rashid. Can you tell about your next paper?
Okay, I thank you, Mohammed Rafiq. I want to read my newspaper about India to push G20 to rise tax rates on films earning excess profit or sales. Indonesia will push its group G20 partners at meeting in housing to support its proposal to raise the share of tax mul- multinational companies pay to countries where they earn excess profits. Government officials state India proposal, which has not a previously report, called temper optimism among G20 about members such as Australia and Japan at meeting of finance minister and central banks in Gujarat would make progress on a long way overhaul of global corporate uh, taxation. More than 140 countries were supposed to start implementation next year. 2021, a deal overhauling decades-old rules on low government tax multinationals. The present rules are widely considering outdated as digital giants like Apple or Amazon can book profits in low tax country. The deal pushed by the United States would levy a minimum 15% tax on large global firms plus add additional 25% tax on excess profits as defined by Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development or AOCD. But several countries have connects about multilateral uh, underpinning a major element of the plan, and some analysts say this overhaul is a risk of collapse. India has made suggestion to get a due share of taxing right on excess profits of official state. The suggestion have made to the OECD. and will discuss extensively during the G20 meeting on Monday. On Tuesday, the office said India has made suggestion to get its due share of taxing right on excess profits on multilateral companies. Three officials who has not to be named discussed with the OECD where and the G20 meeting had not begun, said India wanted significant increase in the tax paid of country where the firm did business. They did not specify how much India was seeking. Indonesia Finance and External Affairs Minister and the OECD did not respond to requests for comment. Under the agreement, global cooperation with annual revenues of 20 billion euros or 22 billion US dollar are considering to be making excess profits if the profit excess 10% annual growth. The 25% just on this excess profit is to be divided among countries. India fight for higher share of taxes for market where firms the business is the world most population country and to be become one biggest summer market in Dian people average income is set to grow more than 30-fold to $27,000 by the end of 2047, according to survey by the People Researcher on India Consumer Economy. The G20 host national with also proposed the withholding taxation be linked from the excess profit tax principle. The rules now say countries offset their share of tax with the withholding tax they collect with withholding tax is collected by companies while make it may pay payment to vendors and employees and remitted to tax authorities. The OECD is a document is start on Wednesday said a few jurisdiction and express concurrence over allocating tax right among countries effort to resolve this is issues that underway with a view to be prepare the multilateral conversation for signature expectedly. It, it said. Okay, that's it from me. Thank you. Next, Arizal Windry.
San Francisco race for robot taxi like lift some drive over safety. Can drivers taxi slow down down San Francisco street and ice quickly surrounded by a group of masked figures. One of them blocks traffic on the hood of the car. His hand takes flick on and the car stops in the middle of the road. Disabled. The bizarre scan has been reported dozens of times across the United States capital in the past week. The work of activists protesting against the proliferation of robot cars, which they consider unsafe. We we believe that all cars are no matter who or what is driving, said the activist, who asked to be referred to by the prosecution, likes to protect his identity. His anti-car activist group, Safe Street Rebel, is radical pro-pedestrian and pro-bike, and not impressed by widespread claim the driver's cars are new revolution mode of transportation. Alex says their arrival just as another way to enter car dominance. Using drive constables from the street, the actives have been disabling drivers taxi operators by Waymo and Cruise, the only two companies current authorities in San Francisco. Their decision has gone viral online, racking up millions of views on social network at a time what said authorities are mostly the expensive to driver less taxi operation in the cities to full horseback service. While being the California Public Utilities Commission, which offers autonomous taxi in the state, will allow Waymo and Costly to directly compete with rideshare in apps such as our offline, but without driver. As the decision, but the issue has caused friction between state and city officials. Members of Safety Street Rebel, a group of anonymous anti-car activists, placed a coney on a self-driving robot taxi to disrupt in during a protest on July in San Francisco, California. This can proliferation of robot cars, which the activists consider unsafe. Driverless cars were first introduced in San Francisco in 2014 with a majority human safety driver on board. 4 years later, California stripped its requirement for meaning it so no longer the staff of skiff to cross past a Jaguar without a driver on the street, but lately, San Francisco officials are worried by an increasing number of incidents involving autonomous cars. Allow robot to take the wheel has led to cars getting stuck in the middle of road, blocking bus lanes or interfering in a police crime scan. No fat accidents involve human and cars of IMO where vehicles have been recorded. Note, a IMO taxi was reported in June to have killed dog that and entered the street. City Supervisor Aaron Pascrin contradicts the CPU's SD decision that allow a massive ramp up of driverless taxi on San Francisco Street. The San Francisco Country Transportation Authority sent a letter to be the CPUC detailing 92 incident involving autonomous the taxi last year, and the mounting controversy seemed to be having some effect. A critical decision by the CPUC and on whether to further expand Waymo and Cruise. Service was due by the end of June but has been proposed postponed with not to Augustus 10 for now. Thus is only authorized on to cars customer for routes driven between 10 p.m. and 6. Waymo cannot turn route for riders without a human driver on board. Still, even with these experimental schemes, the two companies have good of loyal customer base. Safety concerns. Aiden training ran in a robot taxi overnight. I used him mostly for conference and safety. This X 10 years old was they pronounce explained. From the backseat of the Waymo, they watch the car software dictates all the wastes, pedestrians and silence in real time. The said they for more secure reading with a self-driving car than elite order service such as Uber of Lyft. I love the time driver falls rules because the part is based on the number of riders they taking so they might drive unsafe. Sterling said, adding that I see self-driving cars frequent stop as a sign of the faithless Southern. Driver's car's safety record are the main marketing argument of the manufacturer. Waymo he had no collision involving pedestrians selected in per a million miles of full autonomous operation. The company told us we will every face-to-face collision in world rule violation or danger was prefer on the part of the human driver, but some local residents prime wary. Okay, next Rafif Irfan Maulana.
Okay, I will read the newspaper. I'm, emulating moment for Thailand FM Pramudwinai. Pramudwinai. I hope it is not there with this intention where Thai forken means start done. Pramudwinai. Did you until the very last minute to torpedo the decision of the ASEAN, later to temporarily Myanmar junta from participating in the region bloc official meeting and function. His main target was Indonesia. How shall we rest forget Myanmar if not scary? The floor scammed not impressed at Alwen Pramudwinai present the result of his meeting with Myanmar junta leader Energen Min Aung Hlaing and ousted leader Aung San Suu Kyi during the ASEAN Region Ministerial meeting in Jakarta this week. The chief diplomats were just trying to be polite to their Thai counterpart. ASEAN is prepared to deal with the new government of Thailand with result from the My Electronics. Despite the result of the election, ASEAN expect the new leader to be more cooperative in ending the brutality of the Myanmar military. Pramudwinai, however, still tried aggressively to open to his colleagues that the decision to alienate Myanmar's wrong and the Thailand's pro-Myanmar military approach should be adopted is ASEAN really wrong. My answer is not at all the Thai politician is wrong. According to diplomatic notes, the attendance of the Thai foreign minister at the ASEAN annual meeting is more of a courtesy than a necessity, his boss, Prime Minister Prayut. Chen Ocha suffered a devastating defeat in the May election and has spared this resignation from politics. No private role is a caretaker, and so is that of the Thai Foreign Minister, whose Pramod Dwi Nai reportedly told the ASEAN Foreign Minister of his meeting with Jailers Sukain the day before his arrival in Jakarta on Wednesday. I imagined Foreign Minister Retno LP Marsudi then to keep her composure when the Thai politics speak out. She's grown not get her dismay were hearing that Pramudiani invited Al ASEAN 4K minister to attend a meeting her initiated with the Myanmar junta. The move was accepted in the Festo Indonesia as the ASEAN chair and told the group boleh because ASEAN later anonymously I agreed to suspend Myanmar in Jakarta emergency summit in April 2021. 2 months after the junta seized power from the democratically elected government of Sukai, Pramod Dwi know very well that Indonesia did not agree with his meeting with Myanmar's Junta in Thailand last month. He insisted that Thailand as the direct neighbor of Myanmar for the brunt of the conflict in the impoverished nation. In a spirited statement, the Thai Foreign Ministry said Pramudwinai and Suki had a private on her meeting in Myanmar on July 9. She was in good health and it was a good meeting. The Thai Foreign Ministry told reports on the sidelines of the ASEAN Foreign Ministry meeting and Wednesday. She encouraged dialogue. Retno was clearly present. Any other effort must support the implementation of the 5-point consensus. She said, referring to the argument raising in the Jakarta meeting in April 2021. The 5-point consensus 5 which PC called for an immediate end to the violence. Dialogue among Alberti, the appointment of a special envoy, humanitarian assistance from ASEAN. The special enforced visit to Myanmar to meet with Albertis prior did not attend the Jakarta Emergency Summit, citing domestic affairs. Good is this common well than the befriend the Myanmar junta later for prior the COP in Myanmar and the ensuing atrocities were Myanmar on business. and for ASEAN should not intervene. Thank you. Next, Rafli Ardiansyah.
Okay, Muhammad, Rafi Irfan. I want to tell about my newspaper. My newspaper title production at the mercy of heat and drought. An oppressive head pits down on the central Iraqi province of Babylon, where drought and rising temperatures are hitting bees and honey production hard. Beekeepers Muhammad Alawi know it all too well as her check it on dozen of his boxes placed the feet of tall palm trees in the field al regular village. There is no water and therefore the following plans to keep the bees safe at Alawi. The deputy director local offense according to IFP. The earth is cracked and growing melons and watermelon proffers difficult due to lingering drought and nuisance as temperatures hovering regions around 50 degrees Celsius with the their tolls on these two be needs to constantly for fuel and next are necessary for honey production is in Bruscan movement usually traveling hundreds of meters to find its colonies at Alawi, but drought is forcing both the travel longer of the 5 kilometers to pollinate. The impacts the 11 so wonder bee, the female bee that gather pollen and nectar. Alia will explain male bee that gather pollen and nectar. Alawi will explain under optimal climates the worker can live up to 60 days, but in this current situation is only live 20 days. In Egyptian bees there rise in temperatures around 35 degrees, not in sharing head when the thermometer climbs to 50. Said Alawi, the manager of private honey production, he has moved a dozen of his boxes from Central Iraq to 7 seats scattered across the mountains of the northern autonomous Kurdish region where the air quality is degraded. If we don't move the bees dry surface, he said. Uh, Authorities reached 150 tons while its written 65 tons were produced up to from about 700 tons in the territory previous year. January said he has prepared a study on the benefits moving he has to southern and central Iraq to Kurdistan and vice versa. According to news, in order to improve yields, the UN Development Program said in 20 report paper, in a 2020 report is existed to Iraq for estimated 80 years and receives that usually material professors and wait.
Di siapa ya? Saiki siapa Bang?
Authorities reached 1,870 tons while in Kurdistan. 850 tons were produced, up from about 700 tons in each territory the previous year. The Zahiri said he has prepared a study on the benefits of moving beehives from southern and central Iraq to Kurdistan and vice versa, according to needs in order to improve yields. Sandstorm, the UN Development Program said in a 2020 report that beekeeping has existed in Iraq from from an estimate 80,000 years, with recipes that use honey for medicinal purpose inscribed on ancient Sumerian tablets. In modern time. Beekeeping in Iraq is dominated by men, but that has not. Okay, thank you. Is for me to me. Next, Muhammad Rashid.
Yeah, thank you. On my newspaper, India will push a group of G20 partners. A meeting is hosting to support the proposal to ties the share of taxes multinational companies pay to countries where they earn X tax profits. Government official has said India proposal, which has not been previously reported, could temper optimism among G20 members such as Australia and Japan. A meeting of finance minister and central bankers in Gujarat would make progress on long way develop overhaul over corporate taxation. More than 140 countries were supposed to start implementing next year 2021 deal overhauling ticket on rule on how government tax multinational the present rule are widely considered outdated as digital giant like Apple or Amazon can book profit in low tax country. The deal pushed by the United States would levy a minimum 15% tax on large global firms, plus an additional 25% tax on excess profits are divided by organization for economic cooperation and develop OECD. But several countries have concerns about the multilateral, certainly underpinning a major element of plan, and some analysts think the overall is at risk of collapse. India has made the suggestion to get its due share of tax right on excess profit of multinational companies. One of officials said the suggestion have been made the OECD and will be discussed actively during G20 meeting on Monday and Tuesday. The official said India has made suggestion to get its due share of flexing right on excess profits of multilateral companies. Three officials would ask it not be named or discussed with OECD were on the G20 meeting had not begun, said India wanted significant increase in the tax paid in countries where the firms did business. They did not specify how much India was seeking. India Finance and External Affairs Minister and OECD did not respond the request for comment. Under our agreement, global cooperation with annual revenue of 20 billion euros or 22 billion US dollar are considering to be making excess profits. The excess 10% annual growth, the 25% surcharge on this excess profit is to divide among countries. India fight a high share of tax of market where fair to business is the world most population country and said to be one of the biggest summer market in the Indian people effort income is set to grow more than 13 to full to $27,000 by the end of 2047, according to a survey by People Rich on India Consumer economy. The G20 host national also proposed withholding taxation linked by except profit tax principle. The rules now say countries offset their share of tax with withholding tax they collect. Withholding tax is collected by companies while making payment to vendor and employees are remitted to tax authorities. The OECD is a document issued on Wednesday said a view Chirac decision has expressed concerns of allocating tax right countries. Efforts to resolve this issues underway with a few prepared multilateral conversation signatory expression. It said, okay, that's it from me. Next, Arizal Windri, you can read your newspaper.
Okay, nah, aku habis. Okay. San Francisco's press for rocky taxi left sharp debate over safety. The a driver that taxi slow down tax San Francisco street and is quickly surrendered by a group of masked figures. One of them plays of traffic on the hood of the car. His first like frag on and the car stopped in middle of the road T-shape. The question has been repeated dozens of times across in the United States that skeptical this part week. The work the work of activists protesting against the proliferation of robot cars, which they consider unsafe. We believe that all cars are bad, no matter who or what is driving them, said the activist who asked to be referred to by the prosecution Alex to protect his identity. His anti-car activist group, Safe Street Rebel, is radically pro-pedestrian and pro-bike and not impressed by with spirit claims the driver cars area new revolution mode of transportation. Alexis del Arrival just just as another way to encourage car dominance. Using traffic control from the state, the activists have been disabling drivers taxi operations by Waymo and Cruise. The only two complaints current authorities in San Francisco. The restaurant has got violent online, racking up millions of views on social network at a time when state authorities are more the expensive of driver as taxi operation in the city owns a full for her pet service. The proposal by the California Public Utilities Commission (CPUC), which offers autonomous taxis in the state, will allow Waymo and Cruise to directly compete with RedShark in absurd number of live but with hot driver. Street decision, but the issue had caused friction between state and city officials. Autos Johnson, member of Safety Street Rebel, a group of anonymous anti-car activists based on one a self-driving robot taxi it to disable it during protests on July 30 in San Francisco, California. This scan has been repeated dozens of times across the USA. The capital is part of a protest against the proliferation of robot cars, which the activists consider unsafe. Driverless cars were first introduced in San Francisco in 2014 with a mandatory human safety driver on board. 4 years later, California script is requirement for a human driver to be in the car, meaning it is no longer of ski to cross part Jaguar without a driver on the street. But lately, San Francisco officials are worried by an increase in number of incidents involving autonomous cars, allowing robot to take the wheel has led to cars skidding. Stuck in the middle of road, blocking vast lane of even interfering in police criminal scan. No fatal death involving humans and cruise or Waymo with hitches has have been recorded. Thought a Waymo taxi was reported in June to have killed a dog that into the street. City supervisor around Pasquin concerned with the GPOGs as did the session. Allow a massive ram of driverless taxi on San Francisco streets. The San Francisco Country Transportation Authority sent on the letter of the GPOC detailing two incident involved autonomous taxi in the last year, and the mounting controversy seemed to be having some effect. A critical decision between the CPLC on whether the further expand Waymo and cruises service was due by the end of June, but has been provided with now to Augustus 10 for now. Cross is only authorized to change customer for routes driven between 10 p.m. and 6. Waymo can for rider without a human driver one port. Still, even with this experimental system, the two companies have built up loyal customer base. Safety concerns. Jadon Starling leads in a robot taxi every day, using them mostly for conference and safety. The next and year on use the bronze expanded from the backseat of the Waymo they but the car hover to take other vehicles. Pandas pedestrians unshelled in the real time. They said they five more coordinating with a self-driven car than with all the service such as over of like a lot of the time those driver feels rushed because they buy in based on the number of rider they are taking. So they might drive yourself. Sterling said, adding that they are self-driving cars frequent stop as a sign of the social. Driverless car safety records are the main marketing argument of the manufacturers. Waymo had no concern in falling pedestrian of safety in over a million miles of full in autonomous operation. The company told AFP, well, everyone pays to vigilance collection in dual violence or danger for behavior on the part of the human driver. But some local residents mind way. Next, Rafif Irfan Maulana.
Okay, I will read you my newspaper. Indonesia Rotary ASEAN Chairmanship will end in 5 months, and it has not achieved any significant progress in restoring peace and democracy in Myanmar. What can we say it has been a failure? I don't think so. The way Pramod Dwinai prevent his colleagues looked as if he was the official representative on the Myanmar junta. A fair product to become the first ASEAN official the Mitsukin in person. Clearly, forgetting that is only happened because of the close relationship between Prayut and Helaing. In their joint communique, the Asian Foreign Ministry responded to the tie-in initiative by saying some ASEAN member states Thailand viewed it as a positive development which reaffirmed ASEAN unity and reiterated that any effort should support in line with the 5PC and coordination with the care of ASEAN. In their meeting, the ASEAN Foreign Ministry reaffirmed their commitment to the 5PC as the foundation for addressing the political crisis in Myanmar. They strongly condemned the continued acts of violence, including airstrikes, artillery shelling, and destruction of public facilities. They also urged all parties involved to take concrete action to halt indiscriminate violence. I am I immediately denounce any escalation and threaten an environment conducive to delivering humanitarian assistance and inclusive national dialogue. The National Unit Governments and UGI, the official representative of Suki in exile, condemned the latest initiative of Thailand. This meeting is a political ploy when the military regime intend use the Aung San Suu Kyi for their political gain. It is also completely inappropriate that this conflict with the current ASEAN Foreign Ministry. Meeting said Mao Yao, the deputy foreign ministry on NUG, what were message in purported to have come from the Aung San Suu Kyi. We must view it with suspicion as the policy is for her not to make any decision without consulting her political colleagues. We must not forget that even her leaders have not been allowed to meet her over the past month. Infrato upon and to the Myanmar condom remain Canadian in part also because major powers such as China, Russia, and India are more than ready to help the military junta cling to power, prohibiting the member junta from attending ASEAN meeting is a wish decision allowed as Thailand has provided lax efficacy of fully the next gov- government of Thailand will not follow priors pro Myanmar junta approach. Okay, thank you. Next, Rafli Ardiansa.
Okay, thank you, Rafi Irfan. I want to tell about my
See,
article.
I'm
Result Iraq honey production at the mercy of heat and drought. Tony Kemal Kapril asked an oppressive head pits down on the central Iraqi province in Babylon, where drought and rising temperature are hitting bees and honey production hard. Beekeeper Muhammad Aliawi knows it all too well. Also checks on dozens of hive boxes placed at the feet of tall palm trees in the fields of Al-Regila village. There is no water, and therefore the flowering plants to give and appear satisfied. Aliawi and deputy director of a local affairs association told AFP the art is created and growing melon and watermelon project proves difficult to lingering drought and distance July temperature often rising around